to the second generation and even the early early modern generation, and that is why he has also contributed his ideas to Indian literature. And the R.K. Narayan is related to the second generation of Indo-Anglian writers. He was born in 1906 on 10th October. He has been regarded as the best Indian writer in the English language. Narayan is neither Anglo-Indian nor Indo-Anglian. He is very much an Indian, both in spirit and thought. It means whenever some writers they needed to meet him, they found that he was just a simple person, like an Indian, a typical Indian person, and that is why there are some critics who experienced about the very nature of R.K. Narayan. They said that R.K. Narayan was just a simple and an Indian, real Indian. We can say he was just a real Indian that understood the heart of Indian people, what they think, the psychology, whatever he could understand better than others. He deals with big themes, all that is happening in India, but with deceptive simplicity. Deceptive simplicity, why the word is used here? Because whatever he wanted to say about the Indian people, he wrote through the words, means which are comic and also we can say desi type of description. It was there, we can find in the writings of R.K. Narayan, and that is why we can say deceptive simplicity. We can say that he understood the very psycho or the inner, the within of the Indian, and he himself was an Indian, and that is why he could understand the heart of Indians very well, and he deceptively made us to believe in that he was just a real Indian. We can say into inverted comma we can say that he was just a real Indian. Real Indian, that means he understood the psychology, the very psychology of Indian. There are some experiences of writers with R.K. Narayan who judged the very temperament or the nature of R.K. Narayan. They were Ved Mehta. The first person was Ved Mehta. He has written of R.K. Narayan that he seems to carry his home, his cosmos on his back, as did the ageless Swamis. You know that the Swamis, they do not have any love for the home, but here Narayan, he has been considered as the Swamis by Ved Mehta in his writing. That why? Because he always wrote about the Indians, whatever the cosmos, whatever the surroundings, whatever the there with him was just his like a Swami, the beliefs about India, about people. He loved the country very much, and that is why he kept, he was just like a Swami, who always keeps his possessions with him, carrying on the back, and he was just like that, and that is why he was considered as an ageless Swami by Ved Mehta. The second person was K. Natwar Singh, who experienced the simplicity of R.K. Narayan, and he said it was an experience when he had encountered with he had an encounter with R.K. Narayan, and he experienced his simplicity, that he said, I walked up the steps and met by a small man in a shirt and lungi, no shoes. He was wearing no shoes and he was wearing only lungi and a shirt. And K. Natwar Singh asked, excuse me, but Can you tell me if Mr. R.K. Narayan lives here? Yes. And then he replied, yes, he does. Replies the barefooted man. I asked if I could see him. Means K. Natwar asked that he wanted to meet him. So he said, you are doing so right now. I am R.K. Narayan. So it was his simplicity that he was just wearing just like an Indian, wearing lungi and shirt and no shoes, and so simply he met K. Natwar Singh in a street. R.K. Narayan, he disliked publicity. Means, and that is why he said that the ancient tradition of anonymity must have been a great boon for writers, artists, and sculptors of yore. I cannot imagine any epic writer etching his name on the first leaf of the Palmyra stripes, nor a sculptor chiseling his name first on the back of stone. I visualize an ideal state of affairs where a book will have only its title and not the author's name, which means that it will to stand on its own merit rather than on the reputation of the author. The authorship must be a state secret known only to God, the income tax authority, and the accountant, the publisher's office. Means he wanted to say here that he just want to be anonymous. He just wanted to be anonymous with the writings. But you know that the modern technology developed all these publishing of books and all that, and that is why he needed to publish his books. But he believed that publicity never helps a person, only his name, wherever it is spoken, then he can be public automatically. He said so. And it means no artists, no writers in the past, they needed to chisel their name on the stone or the Palmyra stripes while writing. We can't have any name on the inscriptions or whatever said by the past people in the writings or the history even. We do not have anything like that. And he believed that means he said that I want to be like that only. I want to be anonymous in writings. Now let's talk about R.K. Narayan's life. His full name is Rasipuram Krishnaswamy Narayan. Rasipuram represents his ancestral village where he was born. Krishnaswamy, the name of his father. His father was just a school teacher, and at early age, Narayan was shy and sensitive boy. Due to his several failures at intermediate examination, he could not graduate till the age of 24 because he was having the dread of mathematics, and the mathematics it was compulsory, so he had to learn that, and it was just a burden for him to learn mathematics, so he could not complete his graduation. But in 1930 he graduated from Maharaja College, Mysore, and this way his life continued. I told you that Narayan had dread of mathematics throughout his life, and he even mentioned this dread of mathematics in a character of his novel and tried to show that, means somewhat semi autobiographically, he tried to mention that he had the dread of mathematics and could not do good with mathematics, and that was responsible for the failure of his education. Means ultimately he got the education. Then he tried many jobs. He did a job of a teacher for 7 days only. Okay, and but he thought that it did not suit him, and so he left the job. And many other jobs, he even became a journalist. He wrote some articles for the press, and even though he could not think that all these jobs may suit him, and so he left the jobs one by one. In 1935 he got married to Rajam. His married life was happy. After some years of marriage, his wife suffered typhoid and she had died, and this was the change that occurred in his life. This was what we can say the ordeal in the life of R.K. Narayan that changed his ideas, views, everything, because he loved his wife very much, and there was a story behind their meeting, first meeting, Rajam and R.K. Narayan, and that was that for the first time when he met Rajam, it was just the love of first sight, and directly he reached to the father of Rajam and proposed, means asked for the hand of Rajam, and then it was, means that horoscopes, the matching of horoscopes, it was the problem then, and some Jyotish said to Rajam's father that he might be a widower, and so then the father rejected the proposal of R.K. Narayan. But R.K. Narayan, though he was shy, simple, he tried to convince the father, and then his power of convincing that helped him to arrange the love marriage, and so it happened this way. They met and their marriage occurred. His daughter's name is Hema. Rajam's death made him fuller and wiser novelist, because he became so mature after the death of Rajam. Now there are some honors to R.K. Narayan I would like to discuss first, because I have a lot to discuss about the novels of R.K. Narayan, so I would like to just go over through the honors of R.K. Narayan. The first, in 1960, Sahitya Akademi Award was honored to R.K. Narayan for his novel The Guide. In 1964, he got Padma Bhushan. He was honored with D.Litt in 1967 by the University of Leeds, and in 1973 by Delhi University. The very honor of D.Litt was given to him. In 1958, he was a visiting lecturer at Michigan State University. He even lectured at different universities such as the University of California, Kansas University, Yale University and Asar College. He is best known in America. I would like to say here that he is best known in America. Though his writings were published in England, he was best read in America and was appreciated for his writings. His name is included in a series of monographs, The Writers and Their Works, published by British Council. Narayan's works. Let's talk about Narayan's works. Means now we will move to the novels, the writings of R.K. Narayan. He wrote 12 novels altogether and 150 short stories, and his novels are divided into 3 categories: the early novels, the middle novels and the modern novels. later, those are called later novels. The novels are as under Swami and His Friends. It was published in 1935. The Bachelor of Arts. It was published in 1937. The Dark Room. It was published in 1938. The English Teacher in 1947. Mr. Sampath in 1949. The Financial Expert in 1952. And the other novels are Waiting for the Mahatma. It was published in 1955. The Guide in 1958. The Man-Eater of Malgudi. The Vendor of Sweets. The Painter of Science, A Tiger of Malgudi. The collection of short stories are as for under Malgudi Days. It was published in 1941. Dodu and Other Stories in 1943. Cyclone and Other Stories in 1944. An Astrologer's Day in 1947. Lolly Road in 1956. God, Demons and Others in 1956. A Horse and Goats in 1970. Old and New in 1981. Now let's talk about R.K. Narayan as a novelist. What the ability or what the skills that made him so famous around all over the world, that should be discussed now. R.K. Narayan is ranked among the greatest novelists of the world. As a novelist, he deals with the middle class people and their various involvements, their clashes and adjustments that constitute the main interest of his novels. Means the Aam Aadmi, we can say the Aam Aadmi was the main theme of R.K. Narayan's novels. Next, he believes in the principle of art for art's sake, and that is why this principle made him, means he believed in and he followed the principle of art for art's sake and gave us 12 great novels having great themes. He deals with the social problems like H.G. Wells and Galsworthy. You know H.G. Wells and Galsworthy, they always wrote about the